What is up, guys? It's your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip, and today we're going to be breaking down Ermac. And the reason why I wanted to break down Ermac is because a lot of people have been asking me on breaking down other characters in specific. But again, I hope this video helps you guys break down the other characters that you like, because he's also another new character besides the character that I broke down last time with Reptile. I'm gonna use this character for an example and how to understand this character the best at my ability, because I know that everyone learns a little different. But anyway, let's get right into this video. I'm not editing anything. Once again, I'm just going to be just explaining the character. Okay, so these are going to be your pokes. So like I always tell you guys, when you break down a character, down 1, down 3, down 4, and then you do it with your stand pokes. So you got 1, 2, 4, and 3. Okay, these are your moves, and this will help you understand how the characters play, how to poke with him, and so on and so forth. It also seems like your go-to strings are always going to be 1, 2. I'm assuming that everyone already looked at his moves, so we don't need to necessarily go through every single last one. But your go-to strings will always have to be 1, 2. These are going to be good stagger strings as well. You can fully commit to this string, but if you do fully commit to this string, you're going to lose your turn, because around -6, -7, you essentially lose your turn. Like, you can't even really poke after it sometimes, unless your opponent is just using a lot of highs. But even like if you're going against Shao Kahn and Shao Kahn has a lot of highs, he can still down poke you into buttons. So just be careful with that. Another go-to string that you're going to use is this string. This is going to be another good go-to string, which is really good as well. Also, what's so unique about Ermac is that a lot of his strings are not necessarily go-to, but you can utilize all his strings just because he has a cancel. So like you can do stuff like this with this character. I like Rain. A lot of times when he cancels, he's negative, but this character is just safe off of everything. So you can utilize it if you want. A lot of times if you want to bait your opponent wake up, you can now. So if I decided to put this character here, and let's do this right here, right? This move right here in particular is unsafe, but you can kind of make it like, you can't make this one safe because like how it is on startup and how negative it is on block. But if you wanted to go for cancel pressure, you can do this and you're safe after it. So like, just remember like that's your go-to string too. Is really good for, you know, creating pressure. And then on top of that, you can actually like even like you can do this cancel. Let's see, and then you can up block, and then see that if you really want to. Another thing too about this character that I like is that he can play at a range. He's not one of those characters that be up in your face aggressiveness. Now, if you did want to play a super aggressiveness, then you would have to play a cameo that complements it. And then on top of that, you would need to know the go-to strings in order to pressure with this character. So far, I've tried Kano, Cyrax, so on and so forth. I like Kano the most because this string is kind of long. And I can get a cancel off of it right after he comes. So I recommend using Kano just for that reason. You can get overhead mix, or you can even just go for other things that you didn't want to do at first. But that what makes that safe now. So like you can utilize that. You can also do things like this, like if you want to do block pressure, grab them, so on and so forth. So just remember, like you could do so many cool things with this character, and try to utilize it all to the best of your ability. So again, your go-to string is going to be 1, 2, this string as well. And then let's talk about anti-airing. Anti-airing, you have anti-airing strings as well. That's really good. In my opinion, like if they're super close, this one's good. It's super slow. But if you're like underneath your opponent, you can do this. This is really good for anti-airing. It reminds me of Garrett from MK11. I was messing around with it. So if you want to utilize that, that's good as well. Especially like when your opponent randomly jumps. It's an anti-air regardless. And then you also have this as well. Like people have been using this, and they also show you in the tutorial that you can use that as well. But there's nothing wrong with it. There's literally nothing wrong with it. I just think that like it's a little slow for my liking. So that's about it though. Like with that. Other than that, I see it not being a bad string at all. You can even utilize it in that sense as well. Like you can do this, and then cancel and whatever you want to do. Another go-to string as far as an anti-airing, it would be this string. If you want to catch your opponent from a distance and they're jumping, you could just use this as well. Like, oh, he's jumping, come here. Especially like sometimes people like to jump and wake up just to jump, disrespect you. And like I said, he plays from a range, so you don't want to be up super close. But if you do catch yourself being up super close, just use this string. But if they're at a distance, you could just use this, catch them, punish them, and you can go into whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do after that, it's totally up to you. You can even just do this too to get that free pressure. I mean, that free knockdown. Boom. And then boom, Calcana. And so on and so forth, right? Let's talk about something else. Your reversal strings, that in order to take your turn back, they're always going to be like your down poke. But if you don't want to take your turn back, this is one of the few characters in the game that can actually lose his turn by gaining his turn. So like if your opponent is mashing a lot of times, you can just back up into this. And since he doesn't have, he has this move in particular, but since you can walk back and just press triangle, you can do that string. It's really good. So like if your opponent is mashing, you just use that string. Like, oh, especially like, let's say for an example, right? Let's say my opponent wanted to mash, right? So let's say he did this string and then he mashed after, right? So like he did this, I didn't punish him. I can do that string. See, boom, see, boom, and then you can go into whatever you want to go into. It doesn't have to necessarily be that string as well. You can do other strings like the overhead one, I believe. The overhead one's kind of hard, but I would definitely just use what you call it, that string right here. I'm not sure about this one. Let me see. That's a high. Okay, I see. But yeah, I would always use the back string, where you can just take your turn back from it. That's one of my strings I would go to, especially if my opponent is mashing. But again, like I say, you're going to be utilizing your movement a lot more and utilizing space a lot with this character. You're not going to want to be up and close in your opponent's face. And I know like you can combo off your pokes, but that's all you can do. Off your moves is combo off of them. You can't necessarily use it as pressure because you're not plus. So like if I wanted to use this character for pressure, you can't necessarily do that. So like if I did something like this, you can't do that. You'll lose your turn. If they go for a high, yeah, but you can just down poke it every time. But what's so cool about this is that you can create the mind game and then just block. And you can punish him for it. So just keep that in mind. And you can combo off of everything too. So like what's so cool about this one, you can do things like that. However you want to play this character, you can do it. Whatever you want to do, right? So just keep that in mind when utilizing his cancels. You can just do it to catch your opponent off guard if they're not reacting with cancels, but don't use it as in like use it as pressure and take your turn. Use it kind of how Rain does it, where he cancels and then he kind of plays the space game. It's kind of funny because he's relatively similar to Rain in how he plays. So I'm kind of cool to see that they have similar play styles because I actually play main Rain, so maybe catching on to this character will be a little easier. But so far so good, especially with this character and what I like about this character. Your Whipunishing Strings, let's see, your Whipunishing string, like I said, will always have to be like this string. This string is good for Whipunishing, which is stand 2. If you also want Whipunish, you can use this string as well. And what's so cool about this string is that like if you do get the initial hit but you weren't ready for it, you can just cancel it and then you can go into combos and whatever you want to do, right? So that's cool. You don't even have to do down poke. You can just do 1-2 if you want to. I'm pretty sure you can do a lot of other things as well. So that's really cool in my opinion about this character. Your forbidden string is going to be this string. Like, yeah, it's good, but like it's not as good as you think it is. So just be careful with utilizing it. Unless you're using it in combo, which I recommend. But if you're not using it in combo, just be careful. And you'll understand the character a lot more once you get away from utilizing this one so much, because it's going to get you killed, because I'm pretty sure you can up block it and so many other things as well. Just be careful with it. That's all I recommend. But at the end of the day, you guys are going to do what you want. he, like I said, he's a really cool character. So like if you really like this character and you want to pick him up, I recommend it. Just remember that this character plays off of spacing and he's really good at utilizing his spacing. Um, and his normal and his pokes are really good as well. Just utilize, again, like I said, spacing, and you'll do totally fine with this character. I try to keep this video relatively short. I didn't want to make it no more than 11 minutes, but that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is utilizing the strings. I rather than trying to break down the whole entire character, I rather break down things that I recommend that people learn first, rather than just trying to understand the character, understand the strings and utilizing the strings correctly, and then come up with a game plan as well. That's about it for this video, guys. I will appreciate it if you guys like and comment, and if you have any questions as well, you know, you can always leave me a comment below. You can also use the Discord, and in the Discord I have things where you can ask me questions and everything like that. Also too, if I'm not streaming, I mean, if I'm not uploading a lot of times, I'm still streaming and I'm still playing with people in my stream as well, or people in my Discord. So if you guys have that Discord link, please join it. Ask for games. Ask for games against other people that's in there as well. People other in there, they're really good as well. And I have something called Discord ranking, so you can kind of see where the level you could play with and ask people for games. It shows different colors and so on and so forth. But again, I appreciate you guys for watching. It's your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip. I'm out.